This is a surface mount component. We have the wire that runs this direction here and then connects to the left side of this component.
The RCFL lab is not the only digital forensic operation in Colorado. Colorado's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, or ICAC, is based in the Colorado Springs Police Department, where its team coordinates with local agencies statewide to investigate internet child pornography.
Just having the picture alone is not enough. We need to know where it came from, or who, if they were sending it, who are they sending it to, because that may lead us to another subject down the line.
So this one chip in here, it can be the essential basis for a whole investigation.
Absolutely.
The task force, one of 61 such teams across the country, at least one in every state, is funded through the Department of Justice. The teams work in conjunction with the Center for Missing and Exploited Children, often getting tips that guide their investigations. The ICAC teams cooperate on forensic techniques and often coordinate on investigations that go well beyond their individual jurisdiction.
They may see something on the East Coast that we aren't experiencing here in Colorado, so we just network.
Lieutenant Christine Shepard is the ICAC commander for the state of Colorado, overseeing the team. In Colorado, there are 83 agencies affiliated with the Colorado Springs Task Force. Our research shows the ICAC team has been dealing with an ever-increasing number of cyber tips for investigation, escalating from just over 400 in 2010 to more than 1,900 in 2017. And the number of forensic investigations of digital devices statewide increased from 422 in 2010 to more than 2,400 last year.
Some things are right here in the city and it doesn't go any further. Some cross state lines. Some even, go from another country.
But typically, ICAC cases are in local Colorado neighborhoods where no one would ever suspect someone to stockpile or produce child pornography. Like this Colorado Springs neighborhood, where then 31-year-old Brandon Hill sent child pornography to his ex-girlfriend. Then he tried to blackmail her into producing such photos of a child she may have access to.
One of their plans was to have her post online for babysitting jobs on Craigslist, for a means to get a hold of a child so that way they could have her molest the child and then produce child pornography on that child.
Detective Scott Schneider works undercover, so he can't show his face. He says the former girlfriend came to police telling them that one of those threatening her claimed to be an ICAC officer.
You never want to think it would be a cop, but you have to keep an open mind. We were very relieved when we found out that was not the case.
What investigators did find is that Hill was using multiple online personas, complete with these photos, including this one of a random person dressed as a police officer. As these police photos show, he had a house full of computer equipment and screens where Hill could peruse his collection and try to get others online to join him.
Did you lead her to believe that was a police officer?
I did not say it, but I did lead her to believe that, yeah.
In his initial interview with detectives, Hill admitted that while he wasn't successful in persuading his ex-girlfriend to produce child porn, he succeeded with another woman.
Was there a certain age range that you had an interest in?
Yeah.
Under 10? Under 6?
About that.
About 6? Okay. A boy, girl?
Girl.
Girl.
She liked boys.
She was 30-year-old Rhiannon Carnahan.
You are under arrest this time. You have the right to remain silent.
Carnahan had access to a 3-year-old girl and was systematically sexually abusing her, photographing the acts, and sending them to Brandon Hill. In return, she was getting images from Hill's collection of abuse of little boys. For the ICAC team, it was a worst-case scenario.
So we knew we had a live victim. These weren't old images being circulated around for 20 years. It was a young victim who they had access to and they could have continued to produce on had we not intervened.
So you rescued that person?
Yes.
When you run into a case like this, you get angry?
You get angry that they're a victim, but you also get relief that they're no longer going to be victimized, being molested, being raped.
It is something no police officer, no FBI agent, no prosecutor really wants to talk about. The mental and emotional toll it takes on investigators who day after day must see the images of twisted human behavior and investigate the most heinous sexual crimes imaginable against children.
Most people don't want to think about this. Maybe they don't want to believe it's happening, or maybe they're just blocking it out, which is probably safer for them.
You're running a unit trying to stop this. What does it do to you? What is it doing to you?
It's horrible. I might even get emotional. It's horrible.
How do you do it? How do you do it?
It's how they do it.
Yeah. As she points out, she doesn't even have to see the images. She only has to read about them in reports, affidavits, and search warrants. It is her team that sees the horror. The drawers full of now digitally wiped hard drives and the storage of scores of phones that have been part of their investigations of child pornography speak to the increasing proliferation. But Christine Shepard and her team are driven to protect defenseless kids and hold offenders accountable.
There's probably nothing better than getting the bad guys. They do this, it's a noble reason why they do this. This is noble work.
If you don't do it, there may be no one else that steps up to help that child that's in that picture. It may suck for me to look at this for a few seconds, but if I do that and I can identify that kid and remove him from that situation, then it's worth it.
Is that what drives you?
Yes.
Do you have kids?
I do.
How many?
3.
That's why it's hard.
Yeah.
So I'm very fortunate to work with, from the top down, to all my coworkers, people who are always there to lend an ear if you need to talk. We're always watching out for each other, and you always just try and make sure you either give them the space or you're there if they need you.